We have all been invited here today to share a very important moment in Aidan and Emma's lives, that they have decided to live their lives together as husband and wife. They thank you for your presence here today and now ask for your encouragement and lifelong support in their decision to become a family. Who has the honour of presenting this woman to be married to this man?
We do.
To make a marriage work, we learn to overlook and forgive the things that may frustrate us, like Aidan always leaving his stuff where it doesn't belong, or Emma being stubborn and always right. Marriage is having a confidant, a partner in crime, and a best friend. Repeat after me. I, Emma Jane Ditchburn, take you, Aidan Bevan Ryan, to be my lawful wedded husband. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love. Aidan, please take this ring and place it on Emma's left ring finger and repeat after me. I, Aidan Bevan Ryan, take you, Emma Jane Ditchburn, to be my lawful wedded wife. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love. with much love that I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss each other. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new Mr. and Mrs. Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all like to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Aidan and Emma Ryan? My name is Hiram. I'll be your MC for this evening. And thank you. Okay, so I will introduce the first speaker. He's travelled many thousands of kilometres to be here. I'd like to welcome Emma's dad, Martin. Now, Martin, some people hate microphones and some people love microphones. But because this is being recorded, the DJ has said that everybody needs to use the microphone.
Everybody in Thailand loves microphones. I'm going to move over here so you can all see me. I don't have my back to you guys. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some bad news to start with. Might as well get that over with. I went through my speech, editing, re-editing, rewriting, everything, but I could not get it below 1 hour, 16 minutes. So I'm not going to put you through that. I'm going to give you the worst 5 minutes. Now, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. Especially those people who know me and know that I'll be saying a few words. And you still turned up. So that's very good, thank you. Now, there is something that Emma's grandma said. Oh, excuse me. And that wasn't the eye infection. So I'm going to try and read this poem for you. There's a wedding taking place in New Zealand. A beautiful land far away. 16,000 miles, I'm told. Now that it's really a long way away, I'm so afraid that we can't make it. The travelling would be far too much, you see, with me and my bad back and spotty nose. And Grandad with his knackered knee. Now, writing this poem hasn't been easy, so I've asked Stu for help. Because he's inherited my poetic genius and a lot of the other things too. So when you get back home to Yorkshire, we'll do it all over again. With joy and celebrations and hearty congratulations, the joining of two nations. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Stu. Love you all. Now, this takes me back to the occasion when I was called upon last to say a few words at Jack and Katie's wedding. I recall being totally lost for anything new to say and anything of consequence, and feeling total inadequacy descended upon me. It was a new experience to me, so this time I thought I'd let Andrew say a few words to share the feeling. Andrew. I said I was going to keep it short.
I have to say, I wasn't expecting to be on quite as quickly as that. Thank you, mate. I will also keep it reasonably short. I think the father of the bride speech, A, you don't want to hear too much, because you've all got much, much better things to do. But B, the speech is generally about a few thank yous and a few little stories about the bride and her new husband. So that's what we'll try and do. So I think first and foremost, I would really like to say a very, very big thank you. I know from both Shirley and I, for everybody making us so welcome here in this fantastic country. I would like to say a particular thank you to those two people over there, to Tony and Barbara, who actually walked out of their house and handed it over to a bunch of strangers for a week. Really, thank you very much, and you must do us the honour of coming and staying with us when you come to England, not if. Okay. So, stood up here, what do we think? Well, you do look like a rather good-looking bunch, with a couple of exceptions. Hey, Martin, John. But I do have to say, the lady over there, who's now just got married, is looking particularly spectacular. She looks absolutely gorgeous today. And I was going to say that I've been proud all day, but actually, when it comes down to it, I've been proud for as long as I can remember. I should also say that the bridesmaids look particularly... Where's the other? I'm missing Rachel. Oh, there you are. The bridesmaids look fantastic as well, and they did a stellar job. And the bride's mum and the bridegroom's mum look absolutely fabulous. So, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Now, stories about Emma and Aidan. This is the first time in about 15 years I've been able to stand up without fear of being put right or contradicted by Emma. Because I suspect you've all realised that she's a reasonably determined young lady. I have it on good authority that Emma's first coherent sentence was, "My do it myself." I have first-hand experience, when looking for a holiday cottage, of Emma saying, "I would love to book that one, wouldn't we, Aidan?" So she started off reasonably determined from a very small age, very, very young age, very small person. The first time I met Emma was about 20 years ago. And at that time, there was a bunch of couples in Gisborough where we live that used to have birthday parties for the kids. And you'd end up with hordes of kids running around, and there's at least 2 of them here today doing what kids do. And they would be, I don't know, about that high to about that high. So we would go to a place called Newby Hall, which is a stately home near Ripon in North Yorkshire. And it was moderate chaos. The little lads were playing football. The dads were embarrassing themselves also trying to play football. The mums were talking about the things that mums talk about. So I wandered off for a bit of peace and quiet, and I'm wandering around looking at the roses, and I became vaguely aware of this thing attached to my hand. So I looked down, and there was a small blonde girl with brown eyes looking up at me like this. I said, "Oh, hello," and she looked at me like that. I said, "What's your name?" And she looked at me like that. And clearly Emma had decided that she wanted a male escort for the rest of the afternoon, because the rest of the afternoon I walked around with this small child attached to my hand. You were talking to your mate. So if you then fast forward 4 or 5 years to another birthday party, this time we took the kids climbing in the Lake District. It was an indoor climbing thing. And we were a bit short of cars for all the kids. And we happened to have at the time a little 2-seater sports car, an MX-5 for the car fans. And it was a sunny day, which is quite unusual in the Lake District, so the top was down. And we had several different journeys to do, and literally 5 minutes before we were due to move every time, people would look round and say, well, where's Emma? Emma was invariably sat in the front seat of the sports car with the seatbelt on, ready to go. She was equally determined, when she must have been about 16. A friend of mine went through a phase of making everybody vodka and orange. So Emma would learn how to make a vodka and orange. So we had a party where Emma was in charge of the bar, and she applied her determination and focus on making vodka and oranges. And she got louder and louder and louder as the evening went on, and every time the vodka and orange was most refreshing. Most refreshing wasn't the phrase that came to her mind for the hour that I held her hair out of the bucket while she had her head in it later on that evening. So we moved on from that, and she applied a similar level of determination at university, primarily towards going out and partying with her 5 orange flatmates and collecting collecting what is possibly the largest number of shoes ever crammed into one wardrobe that I've seen in my life. So we were starting to get a tad concerned at this point. It was a case of, well, it's the final year. Emma, you need a plan. So Shirley gave her one of Shirley's pep talks. And I'm coming to that. Shirley gave her one of her pep talks. And Emma went away and cogitated. And she gave us a call one morning. And she said, I've sorted it. I have a plan. I'm going to Australia with Pete. Okay, that's fine. So how are you going to fund that? I'm going to work in the box factory for the summer. So she went, and to be fair to her, she did get a degree. She applied her determination from the Christmas to the Easter, and actually did rather well. But she then would go to work in the box factory, and unfortunately her determination failed after about 3 days of boredom and packing and inane radio. Yeah, it was probably less than that. So she abandoned that, and anyway, she went to Australia, and you think, when your daughter goes to Australia, oh, hellfire, what's going to happen here? It's right around the other side of the world. Who's she going to meet? She's going to be mixing with a bunch of Australians, which is always a worry. So after a couple of months, we got a phone call, and she said, I've met somebody. He's called Aidan. Is he Australian? No, he's a nice boy. Okay, that's fine, and things seem to be going fine. And we're thinking to ourselves, he's going to have to be a reasonably strong character. He's going to have to be equally determined, otherwise she's going to mince him. Yeah. So 3 or 4 months later, they couldn't get home for Christmas, so she rang up and said, can I bring Aidan home for the summer? Yeah, that's not a problem. How long do you want to bring him for? Oh, only about 3 months. Okay, yeah, fetch him along. If he's survived that long, he's going to be a good lad, basically. So entirely coincidentally, I was at Newcastle Airport just as he flew in. And he spent a couple of days in the middle of China with a bunch of Chinese guys trying to save a couple of £100 on the flight. And he walked out into Newcastle in one of the most impressive hats I've ever seen in my life. And I have to say, I thought, okay, yeah, you'll probably do. If you're prepared to walk out into Newcastle dressed like that, son, you'll probably be all right. So he then spent the next 3 months sat on our primarily sat on our sofa, drinking cider out of plastic bottles, and mourning bitterly about the BBC's biased coverage of the Olympics. I mean, he doesn't seem to appreciate that. Why would anybody want to watch the New Zealanders winning the rowing when we came second? But towards the end of his stay, he started developing a little business. He found his niche, doing a bit of gardening and the like. And he was particularly popular with well-to-do ladies of a certain age. And by the time, literally the week before he was going back, I kept getting phone calls from posh ladies in Hunton Village outside Gisborne saying, "Emma's young man, do you think you could get him to come up and trim me bushes?" So I'm starting to think by this point, the lad's determined, he's strong enough, he's going to be fine. And a couple of years later, we actually came out to Australia to stay with Emma and Aidan. And if I had any doubts at all before we arrived, they'd all been completely removed by the time we left. Entirely coincidentally, the middle Saturday of our 2 weeks, we're in Melbourne, and Australia happened to be playing England at the MCG in the Cricket World Cup, and we happened to get tickets. So to be fair to Austin, Aidan even, where did that come from? Where did that come from? To be fair to Aidan, he sat there with me in our white England shirts, yes he did, a white England shirt, in front of 70,000 drunken Australians who were baying for English blood because the cricket was rubbish. England didn't turn up, there was nothing to watch, so we sat there as they all jeered at us and said some really rather vulgar things about the Queen. So I'm thinking, if he's prepared to sit there with me and Emma and Shirley and go through that, yeah, he's probably all right. We then went along the Great Ocean Road. We stayed in a little place called Skeens Creek, which, if any of you have ever been there, it's a lovely little village with a bay with rocks at one end, a nice beach, reasonable surf. Aidan proceeded to demonstrate his inability to catch a fish any bigger than that, which I thought was quite amusing. But we went down one evening, and the girls wanted to go for a swim. I took one look at the water, and if you bear in mind, anything above ankle deep for me is a major sea on. The waves were literally up here. They were sort of nose high, and they would still go for a swim. And I'm minding my own business, fishing and bird watching, because there's no way I was going to get in there. And I noticed them trudging along the beach. And what had happened was that Shirley and Emma had actually got caught in a rip in the waves this big. And incredibly nonchalantly, Aidan had saved both of their lives. Now, I have to say, and I will be eternally grateful to Aidan for preventing what would have probably been the worst day of my life, because I've absolutely no doubt that he saved both of their lives. He wouldn't mention it, didn't occur to him, he was incredibly nonchalant over it, but I think that probably gives you an indication of the kind of guy he is, and, you know, he'll do for me. So at this point, it's customary for the father of the bride to offer some words of wisdom, which is going to be a problem unless you want some words of wisdom about Star Trek and birdwatching. In any event, what I would say to you is, look, just enjoy every day, because they do slip past so very quickly, and be happy, because you both deserve it. He's after me a microphone. I haven't finished yet. We have to have a toast. We have to have a toast. So if you would stand up, pick your glasses up. I would like to propose a toast to Spock and Aidan. If you would live long and prosper.
Thank you, Andrew. You were lucky you escaped my intro. I met our next speaker in the late 80s, and he is truly a remarkable young man. And as Andrew touched on then, he's a guy who tends to do his talking by his deeds. Aidan.
Hi everyone. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you all for being here on our special day. I know many of you have travelled from different parts of the world, and we're all so grateful for the efforts that you have made to be here. Our families only just met last week, and it's as though they've known each other forever. Fortunately, we share the same interests and have had the pleasure of bonding together with barbecues, spas, beers, and large fires. I'd like to start by thanking my parents, firstly for raising me the way they did and keeping me alive while I drank paracetamol, chewed on batteries, and pulled off PowerPoints. It can't have been easy. I must have been a difficult child at times. But anyway, we made it through the early years and then on to skateboarding, water polo, and soccer games. You supported me, came out in the often crappy Wellington weather, and helped manage teams on my trips away, even when they didn't go as well as we would have liked. I want to especially thank you on behalf of Emma and I for all the efforts in making this the perfect wedding. We really appreciate all the work that you've done and all the homemade touches, from tailoring suits and dresses to baking cakes and fudge. Mum, I think it's obvious I'm talking to you. Where are you? But also, Dad, you've helped us with your expertise in finding knickknacks and hidden treasures, which I'm sure everyone's noticed around on the tables. Also, you've given up your house to welcome the English contingent, and we really appreciate it. Next, I'd like to thank Emma's parents, all three of them, for raising such a beautiful, intelligent woman. You've done an amazing job. I'm so lucky to now call you my wife. It's also awesome that we've had the opportunities to see you all just as often as I see my parents, although you live on the other side of the world. You've made me feel a part of your family already, and we'd both like to thank you for all the help with the wedding, and especially for travelling so far to be here. Thanks to our sisters, Rachel and Katie, for being Emma's bridesmaids. You both look beautiful, and you've worked together so well to make this the perfect day, so thank you. We'll raise our glass for a toast. Bridesmaids. Jonathan, my best man. Where do I start? We got into biking together, where you developed a reputation for having the biggest bales. You taught me to drive at the age of 15, bunny hopping and stalling our way to school. And then there was Silly Sundays, where a big weekend somehow ended up in you running butt naked down your street on a Sunday afternoon. Seriously though, you've always stood up for me and been a great mate, and I want to thank you for doing that, especially today. Thanks for being such a good best man. Now I hope you'll take it easy on me when it's your turn to speak. Finally, to my wife, Emma. You look stunning. Words can't describe how beautiful you look. Of all places, we met over 5 years ago in a hostel in Melbourne playing pool. Sadly, you beat me that day. And every day since. Although I think I'm the real winner, as we haven't been apart ever since. We then moved on to Sydney, where we got our own place, and I truly fell in love with you. We have completely different strengths and weaknesses, which together makes us so strong. You have your jobs while I have mine. You are kind and caring, and always right. You put up with me when I'm less than helpful, and tell me when my driving's off. Emma, I love you so much, and I plan to make you as happy as you have made me, and look forward to our future together. Now, if everyone could please raise a glass and toast to my beautiful bride, Emma. To Emma.
and he told me that he was slightly nervous about that. That was fantastic. That was a fantastic speech. Okay, so Aidan has been lucky. He's had some great mates over the years, and he still has. And one of them, a friend who is constantly confused with Jason Statham, the British action hero, is here with us now to take the microphone. Jonathan.
Cheers. Best man, it's a big job, so I thought I'd be really unprepared and not write anything down. So I'm sorry if my speech is terrible. So I've known Aidan since he was, I don't know, as long as I can remember. I think we were at primary school together, Cedar in school. The reason why he became my friend, I think initially was because I was bigger than everyone else, so I'd protect him. I'd protect him from all the bullies. Maybe I was the biggest bully in the school, but so he made a good choice. Hold on, I've actually got some little notes here. Yeah, so I'm also bald. I think I did it subconsciously. It was an accident. I didn't mean to cut my hair this short. But I think deep down I knew that I wanted to piss Aidan off somehow today. So that's how I'm explaining it anyway. So, yeah. What have I got here? So, like one of my fond memories with Aidan, so I had a lot of trees in my backyard, and we built this big tree fort, which may explain why he's a builder, but I'm still not sure if he's any good as a builder, because he was fucking terrible at that. But that, to be fair, like if it wasn't for his bravery and ability to climb up shit, we would have never made it up there. If you actually see how tall this tree fort was, like I think if you fell, you'd probably not walk again. That went pretty well for a while until Tony came along and saw it. And then he abused my dad for letting us do it. My dad didn't care, but, you know. Yeah, didn't stop us either. So, so where to begin, eh? Aidan was saying I taught him to drive. It was actually because, he's been a good friend to me. So it's what it makes me sad to see him. You know, he's no longer my problem. Sorry, Emma. But yeah, we've been through a lot together. Like, so when I was growing up, like, I lost one of my parents, and he was there for me. Like, bloody good man. Like, so he distracted me, I guess, and kept me going. And then I used to drive because I like to drive. And then I had a tumour, and they took my license away from me. So I was like, okay, well, at least he can drive for me. So I taught him how to drive, and he got a piece of shit Civic off his dad, had a big bore. We were painting the bumper, I think, at one point. That was a good time. We used to go skating. He's actually a really good skateboarder. I don't know if any of you guys know this. I don't know how he lands half the things because he's so friggin' unco. But yeah, I don't think he's broken one bone since skateboarding. Whereas I broke countless amounts. What else? What else we got here? Oh, yeah. I don't know why, but I've just got this memory of us, like, we nailed shoes to a skateboard because we wanted to go wakeboarding, but we were too poor. We didn't have a boat. So we nailed shoes to a skateboard, and we were just boosting around with our bike, like being towed behind the bike. And if you fell hard because your shoes are attached to the skateboard. Yeah. What else we got? He's a builder, so he needs a van. So he bought a van. It was a piece of shit. It was all dented up one side, so we just literally filled the biggest dent with bog you've ever seen. It took us a while, and then we painted the van, and then about a week later, I think the van blew up. Did it? Yeah. And then he got one that actually worked and kitted it out with all sorts of shit. Like, sorry, I swear a lot. It's a bad habit. I've got kids and they swear too. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, we've Aidan likes to drink. You may not know that about him, but he also likes to fall asleep when he drinks. So there's one story I've got to say, and I don't know. Okay, we still haven't found out who shat in the laptop. Okay, that's all. So. Aidan was at a party, had his laptop. Where did you find it? I think in the ceiling. But someone had shat in his laptop. He made the effort to clean it. It still didn't work. I think he tried to take it back. And then he tried to sell it. But that's classic Aidan, like, I don't know how his mind works. It's the complete opposite to how mine works. So, yeah. I think that's why we're such good friends. Like, he likes to be told what to do. I like to tell people what to do. Yeah, it works well. Although he does like put his foot down every now and again, which is probably like why him and Emma do well together. He'll put his foot down when he needs to, which I'm guessing isn't often. So we've got one tradition that involved drinking, obviously. Every Christmas Day we'd always get really drunk together. I miss those days. Used to walk down the hill from his house to my house. That was good. I don't know if it ended well. Generally didn't, but you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's been sad for me. He's moved away, and I haven't seen much of him recently. But like every time I see him, it's like nothing's changed. Yeah, I miss you a lot. Yeah, I was sort of growing up with Karen and Rachel and everyone, and I feel like part of the family. Yeah, it makes me sad actually. All this shit. Sorry. Yeah, what else? That's about it. I don't really want to talk for too long, eh? But yeah, cheers, Aidan. I fucking love you, man.
What a great day it's been. Absolutely fantastic. I'm a very proud man. I thought I would talk about Aidan in his early life and refer to his health and development book, also known as a Plunkett book. And I've noted down some of the Plunkett nurses' comments as they came and visited the house and monitored Aidan's growth. So I'll just refer to some of those, and I'll go further as well. So we've got Aidan born on the April 29th, 1989, and we've got 24th of May, a month later. Aidan's gaining weight beautifully on the breast. Well done, Barbara. August, 4 months old, reaching out and rolling. A lovely boy. These are the nurses, what they say about him. Anyway, at 6 months, Aidan is a very active boy. Can say mama, and he babbles. Transfers from one hand to the other. Yeah. At 8.5 months, Aidan is alert and a very active, bright-eyed boy. Stands alone. Follows his mother around the house. At 9 months, he walks. Unbelievable. They were all surprised. They're walking so early. Anyway, he walks and he wrecked the lampshade and he pot plants, but he loves children, and he's a very active, bright-eyed boy. Beautiful and active baby boy. On the 27th of February, he loves the beach, likes animals, loves children, and he's walking and he's running well. A handsome, trim, active baby boy. At 1 year old, another nurse had said, walking at 9 months, very surprised, exclamation marks. He loves music, he loves swimming, and he walks up the town belt track behind our house with Barbara and the cat. He likes to climb. I'll say more about that. Anyway, he was speaking early too. He would say Biloo for blue and Minky for monkey, which was quite hilarious. And yeah, he loves music and he loved his teddy. He took his teddy everywhere he went. really loved his teddy. Yeah. Then they go on. An active, happy boy. He recognised details in pictures, and also was good at water schools. Now this is an interesting point, and I'll tell you more about that. Aidan had no fear of deep water, no fear at all. So without doing the swimming training, he'd just turn up and he'd go to the end of the pool and flop himself in. You know, he's just fearless around water. So he's no fear, not afraid. Yeah. Okay. He pulls the vacuum cleaner around, loves playing in his sandpit with his diggers. He was really fixated with his diggers, and he spent so much time there. It's quite amazing. He climbed the wall and drank a bottle of Panadol, which was previously mentioned. Well, Barbara was in the shower at the time, and anyway, she came out and I came out, and he was zonked out on the couch, you know, and he was just like this, and we were quite alarmed. But anyway, it was all right. He wasn't in any pain. He came out of it. At 2.5 years old, he was into everything, and nothing was safe around the house. I can tell you that. Yeah. It was just chaos, because he could climb and he could walk, and it's just all over the place. And so we're always chasing after him, cleaning up after him, and so on. Yeah. I mentioned also he undid this wall socket at our house. So it was quite amazing that he could actually do that. And we're thinking, we came across him, and he's pulled all the conduit wires out from the wall. And we were really alarmed, weren't we, Barb? Yeah. Yeah, that could have been a really shocking experience. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another time, he was very handy with scissors. You know, so one night he climbed into Rachel's cot, and he had a pair of scissors, and he cut all her beautiful blonde curly locks off, right down to the. You know, it was a real mess. Oh, Barbara was so upset. Unbelievably, she was upset because she kept some of those locks, so picked them up, and oh yeah, so that really upset her there. Yeah. Anyway, when he was about 8 years old, he was riding his trolley down the town belt, and if you can imagine that, our town belt, we were boarded it, but it was sloping, and he's got this trolley, and he's whizzing down, but he couldn't turn, and he crashed into the side of the house. And I watched the whole thing happen. I was just so worried, and I was just a distance away. It was like slow motion, or like, if you can remember, Chariots of Fire. You know, yeah, I was yelling, no, you know, and I was so, you know, it's just slow motion. I was just so worried. And that he's going to be all right. He just hit the side of the house at high speed, out cold. Out cold he was. Thank you very much to Nurse Heather Bennett, our neighbour. She saved the day. Thank you, Heather. Amazing. She came and saw him and looked after him. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go to the page. About 11 or 12 years, his natural ability in many different sports, he was just so good, and still is now, as you can imagine. Anyway, one example was he was riding a trolley, another trolley incident, and his friend Hugh was at one end of the tunnel in Seaturn, and Aidan would start at the top end. And this tunnel was about 60, 70 metres, and it was dark. And he'd ride the trolley down through the tunnel. His friend Hugh's at the bottom of the tunnel watching for cars and keeping guard. And then he whizzes out of the tunnel and right down the hill and carries on. Oh, yeah, hilarious, you know, and real daredevil, I can tell you. Yeah. Aidan and Jonathan, this was also previously mentioned, where they invented a new sport called pine boarding. And at the back of Jonathan's house was this massive stand of trees. And what they did was they took their trucks off their skateboards and put wax on them. And then in amongst the trees, they right at the top, and they just screamed down the hill, avoiding trees, and and it's just quite amazing. It daredevil stuff. I mean, if they hit a tree or went over, it was would have been a disaster. But they're just fearless, Aidan. Yeah, and quite amazed that he did that sort of thing. Yeah, Aidan, and so everything he did at a young age has moulded him to what he is now. Yeah, he's an amazing guy, and we are so proud of him. And when I also want to mention that when Aidan first brought Emma over to our house one Christmas and that, I was really pleased to see Emma and Aidan, and instantly we could tell there was a chemistry between them. So we knew that they were doing the right thing, and this was a number of years ago, and it was just amazing that, and we could see that in you both at that time. So yeah. We are very pleased and welcome to have you in our family, Emma. It's been really good, and happy we really are. I would just want to say one more thing if I could, and there's a tireless worker who worked so hard for months leading up to this wedding, and she helped people in all sorts of ways, helped fix up suit trousers, take trousers in, prepared the house, did so much work, made the wedding cake. My lovely wife Barbara worked like a Trojan. Yeah, worked like a Trojan. Yeah, amazing woman. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much. Yeah.
The color them wonderful, stop me, steal my breath. Emeralds from mountains and thrust towards the sky, never revealing their depth. Tell me that we belong together, dress it up with the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. And I'll be your crying soul digger, I'll be a love suicide. I'll be better when I'm older, I'll be the greatest fan of your life. And rain falls angry on the tin roof as we lie awake in my bed. You're my survival, you're my living proof. My love is alive, not dead. Tell me that we belong together, dress it up with the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. I'll be Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Running from the cold up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick a banjo now. Oh, North Country winters keep a getting me down. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. But I ain't a-turning back to living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Walking to the south out of Roanoke, I caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long toke. But he's a-headed west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee. I gotta move on before the sun. I hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. And if I die in Raleigh, at least I will die